guys? Welcome to the Not Famous Radio. So sorry it's super early, and I know it's on a Monday. No one really likes Mondays, but here we are. Happy Monday. Go ahead and let you introduce yourself, buddy.
Hello, my name is Jared Warf. I've been an artist for 19 years. I own a studio in Dixon, Tennessee called the INKQUISITION. I co-own a studio in Springfield, Tennessee called High Tide Tattoo, and I co-host a tattoo convention called Old Ties.
Hell yeah. That's sweet, dude. I want to ask you about the your whole shop owning and stuff experience, because I'm always intrigued on different shop owners, you know what I mean? What's something that really got you inspired to kind of reach out and do your own kind of shop?
I was a terrible employee.
Yeah.
And I can't fire myself. Well, actually, what inspired it was honestly a terrible boss. And I think my wife at the time was maybe like 5-6 months pregnant. And I guess I just got a wild hair up my ass. I was like, fuck it, I'm leaving. I'm not dealing with this anymore. And I kept it close to the chest. I didn't tell anybody I was working with. And but towards the end of it, decided to tell everyone, and they're like, you know what, we don't like it here either, we'll just follow you. I was like, well, fuck it, if we're all going to stay here, I'll just see if I can buy the studio.
Right.
So the day my son was born, I had just this massive surge of courage, and I called the boss and I was like, hey, going to let you know how it's going down. I'm leaving, I'm opening up, and when I leave, everybody's coming with me. So you're either going to lose the shop because we all leave, or you can lose the shop by selling it to me and you can make a little money. He's like, well, I'm glad you asked, because I was actually thinking about talking to you about buying it.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, all right, well, there we go. And then my heart finally got back in place. But yeah, we stayed in that location for about 2 years, and then we moved over to, used to be, what was it called? Jade Dragon, I believe it was.
Okay.
Not too far from where the co-op is on Wilma Rudolph.
Right,
Yeah.
got you.
It was in that log cabin.
Okay.
So we stayed there for about a year or two. But I don't know. Once I quit traveling so much and had to settle down, you know, being a single dad and everything, It was just easier to have my own spots.
Okay.
So, but I don't really have a problem working for other people, but it's a lot easier when it's your headache and not someone else's.
Right.
So.
I definitely can see that. So whenever you want to start this whole adventure of doing your own shop, your own thing, how far along was you in your career?
Not far enough. I maybe only been tattooing 3 years. I had no business doing what I was doing. But I've been very fortunate. I've had a lot of good people having my back.
That's good.
If it wasn't for, you know, some old friends of mine, you know, pushing me along and supporting me, I mean, I'd fail even today. I don't think I'll ever have enough experience not to be able to, not to need to fall back on, you know, my friends.
Right.
But I think this shop, if I remember correctly, you know, when you get old, you forget time. But we've had this one about 6 years. This was really the only one I opened up by myself without anybody coming and working with me in the beginning.
Okay.
It was meant to just be just me. That's why the studio is fairly small. But now we went from just me to having, you know, 5 artists, 1 piercer, and a building that shouldn't be holding 5 people. So.
Oh yeah. Does it feel good knowing that you got those kind of people right there by you? Though?
Absolutely. I mean, I love everybody that works for me, man. Like,
that's awesome.
I mean, not to sound sappy, but I'm super proud of all of them. They're all great people. Trust them 100%. You know, it's nice to be able to work with people that I know I can just like lay money down on the counter and know I can come back tomorrow and everyone's going to be missing.
Right. You'll probably have more there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I really love my people, man. They are great guys.
That's cool, dude. And so it feels good in knowing that you're able to at least, you know, walk away or take a whole day off and come back and, you know, everything's great. Everything's taken care of like it should be. You know what I mean? I've heard nothing but great things about you, man. And that's one of the reasons. Good deal. You know what I mean, dude, I have. I mean, from the previous shop I was at before here, even though, you know, there's bad things, people have done nothing but said great things about you.
Good deal.
So, I mean, because at the first Old Ties convention is where I kind of met you and kind of realized who you was, you know what I mean? And because I didn't even know you was a tattoo artist until someone had started talking about you. And then I started looking to your work and whatnot, and you great artwork.
Thank you.
Oh, man, your color stuff is awesome. You know what I mean? I really like, especially, like, I don't know how new or old this tattoo is, but it's like some sort of face with like it had blue color to it. It's like more of a realism, maybe. I don't know what style it was, but it was on your Instagram page, and it was like all these different tones of blues and whatnot. And
did it have any like purple and pink on one side?
Yeah,
it was a King David statue.
Okay, man. Yeah, that was great, dude. Whenever I see people that do color, dude, it really does inspire me to want to do it more, just because I'm terrified of color, man, because I know once it's there, I don't know if there's a way of getting out of the messed up stuff, but I just know that my black and gray, you know what I mean, if there's any, like, where the client moves or something, I'm able to at least cover that or whatever, fix that mistake. It's just, what color, I've always been so terrified to even try to bounce into a realism state with color, other than floral pieces. I don't mind doing florals. With faces, no, that shit scares the shit out of me bad.
Right.
Yeah, so like I'm very impressed with anybody who does color realism, especially with faces or anything like that.
I was scared to death to do portraits for the longest time, because I may have only been tattooing for 2 years at this point. And, back when I first started tattooing, flash was still a big deal.
Yeah.
A big pick it and stick it crowd. And there was this one tattoo of a cross with Jesus's face in it. And this one person came in, I put him on him, and thank God that most of the face was obscured by a cross, because I screwed up everything.
Oh, God.
So, I kind of was like, maybe I don't need to do any more. And I worked at this one shop called Artistic Ink, and I was really good friends with the owner. That's the only reason I even got that job, because I had no business getting hired anywhere at that time. And this guy comes in, and everybody's seen it. It's a portrait where Jesus is looking up, and his nose is, well, he almost has no nose. It's almost just like nostrils because of the way the light is.
Right.
This guy comes in asking for a Jesus portrait, and my buddy Ben starts laughing. He's like, "Oh, you should get Jared to do it. He loves doing Jesus portraits," because he was at that shop. So the guy refused to let anybody else do it but me. I was like, "Man, you don't want me doing this."
Oh, man.
And to say I messed it up was an understatement. They called it Pig Jesus for years, because it just like the Michael Jackson thing where he lost his nose.
Yeah.
Is what it looked like. There was no going back and fixing it.
Oh, man.
So I swore off, I swore off portraits for at least half of my career. And my daughter's mom wanted me to tattoo Walt Disney on her. And we hadn't been dating long enough for her to know that I didn't do portraits. So, and I figured if I'm going to mess up on anybody.
Right.
So I wound up doing a Walt Disney on her, and it came out really good, actually. Not to toot my own horn, but she was like, "Wow, that looks really good." I was like, "Yeah, I don't know how." And she's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "This is the first time I've done a portrait, really." And she's like, "Well, okay, good." But after that, I just really got into them. And when I first came back to Dixon, Tennessee, we had opened up a shop called Tempest, and I don't know how that became my thing, but almost immediately I was like the portrait guy.
Okay.
And I hadn't probably been doing portraits more than just a handful of months at that time.
Oh, wow.
But I just had a lot of people over time like showing me little tips that I was able to pick up on. And I guess just from watching and paying attention and listening, I kind of inadvertently kind of got taught how to do them. I don't really know of another way of putting that. It's a really weird situation.
So it kind of just pushed you forward and more into wanting to do it versus being a little bit more terrified to do it.
Yeah.
Got you. I got you. Yeah, because I've always been nervous. Portraits take me so long because I'm so terrified of messing it up, because I know it's a permanent job. Right. You know what I mean? There's no erasing it out right now. But yeah, it definitely does make me more nervous than anything. So, what year did you start your tattooing, and did you do an apprenticeship, or did you kind of teach yourself?
I did do an apprenticeship. Man, I think I got started in 2006, 2007.
Okay.
I went through a much longer apprenticeship than needed, just because I wound up leaving one apprenticeship to go to another one. And that one lasted a lot longer than the typical year that Tennessee requires, because I had to, pay my dues, sweep the floors type thing.
Right.
Really, who taught me the most during that apprenticeship with him, he had a 14-year-old son that he would be like, "Hey, go show him how to set up a machine. Go show him how to, tattoo a grapefruit or something like that. And that was primarily my beginning education, was a 14-year-old boy showing me stuff that his old man had kind of inadvertently showed him.
That's wild. That is wild, knowing that that's, something that you had to. Now, how old was you with this 14-year-old?
Oh, man, I might have been like 24.
Yeah,
at
just
best.
feel a little weird knowing that a younger kid was trying to show you the.
Not as much as you would think it would.
Really? Yeah.
No, they were definitely. He had two sons, and they were both really good young men. So,
Okay.
and their mother was a great woman too. Well, that sounds like she passed too. She's still a great woman,
Okay.
but and she at the time actually owned the studio.
Oh, got you.
Well, she wound up getting ownership because he wasn't paying his child support, so he lost his business to her. So that was a
I'll go quick.
really odd situation. So,
Yeah.
but
do you think people have it a little easier now with their apprenticeships?
absolutely, absolutely.
What's one of the things that for sure that they didn't do or they don't do now that you did back in your
never made their own needles.
Yep.
Never had to put a machine together. Heck, I don't even know if I could do it anymore. I've been using rotary for so long. I don't even know if I could go back to coil. But
I'm telling you, buddy.
Walking into your station and your machine is in every single part that it can become. And they're like, put it all together before your appointment shows up. Like, I've never even taken one apart. How am I supposed to put one back together? Figure it out.
All right.
Whatever. So, honestly, I don't know. It was really just slave work back in the day. And I've been pretty rough with apprentices, but it's like, I think if it wasn't for me later on moving on and meeting so many people who were willing to take me under their wing, I wouldn't be able to do anything in this industry.
Right.
If I had to just purely rely on my original mentor, I would have never really learned anything. So what if I'd have waited my whole year, got my license, then I'd be turned out into a career that I would be messing up all my clients on. So I took the approach, it's better just to make a good artist than a good janitor.
Yeah.
So I generally don't require too much work as far as like come in early, mop my floors, because honestly, I like mopping my floors. I like sweeping my floors.
Right.
I like doing my own cleaning because, this apprentice might be able to clean it well, but I don't know what they skipped over.
Right.
So I'm a very stickler on that. So I'd rather them come in and draw all day than clean all day.
Yeah, versus being a janitor.
Right. So, so far, I believe that I've had really good success with apprentices. One apprentice is still, one past apprentice is still working with me currently, and he is a great employee.
Okay.
Most of the apprentices I've had have gotten out of the industry. One I had, she was a very talented artist, but she wound up getting married, had a child, and she decided to go full-time mother, and I can't fault that.
Yeah.
So, I for the most part really am proud of how most of my apprentices have turned out. So
that's awesome, especially knowing that they're coming out of your hand. What I mean, and they're doing their thing. That's really cool, especially being licensed afterwards. That's really neat. So I don't know if you got a lot of heckling done whenever you would go into different shops, like new shops. Do you think they still kind of do that now, or does your shop even kind of do it a little bit?
Oh,
just meeting a new artist.
You can't have thin skin in that shop.
Yeah,
we are not PC at all. We probably fuck with our clients more than anything else, honestly, though. So
hell yeah.
That's one reason why we love our clients so much, is because they're usually in on it too.
Right.
So yeah.
Dude,
we couldn't record anything that goes in that shop.
Buddy, I know. We talk about it all the time. We're like, man, if we can just be live, guys, if we were live, we'd be canceled.
Exactly.
Like, they would stop this. We wouldn't be allowed to be on there anymore. No, and I love that about, working with our artists and stuff, or new people and our clients, just because if we can fuck around with them and have a good time, who's to say your day's not going to go smooth? You know what I mean? So I definitely love the enjoyment of just, kind of having a great time and a good time with, just not just clients, but your other fellow artists that's with you, and even at conventions, you know what I mean? Right. dude, you can't have a bad time if everybody's having a great time.
Exactly.
You know, you got any like kind of funny stories from clients or any kind of silly tattoos that clients have brought in?
Oh, silly tattoos. There's a lot of those. So back when I worked in Clarksville the first time, this guy came in and he wound up getting 2 saltine crackers on his back saying "crackers for life." that one really sticks out to me.
I like that. That's funny as shit. Hell yeah.
Probably the grossest tattoo I've ever done. And I remember his last name. It was Grundy. You can't ever forget his last name like that. But he wound up getting a bloody tampon on his leg with the words "bite, pull, fling" on it.
Yeah.
So
hell yeah.
And I was like, well, why do you want it on your thigh like that? And he's like, because, man, when I drop trowel, I want every girl to know I mean business. I was like, well, I get it, man. Rock on. So,
hell yeah.
But
that's funny as shit, dude.
I don't know. I've got a lot of goofy tattoos because we make a lot of tattoo bets at the shop.
Yeah.
I wound up having to get a Mike Tyson chicken nugget for the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight.
Yeah.
Rigged as hell. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, I know,
Rigged.
dude. I watched it here that night. I was doing the tattoo, and I turned it off whenever I seen it, the end of it. I turned it off. I was like, I don't care. That's fake. And my client was like, you're really into it. I was like, I was a big Mike Tyson fan.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Like,
yeah.
I was huge. And I was like, that pissed me off more than anything, knowing that he had a chance at it, you know?
Well, after the second round, it was a totally different boxer.
Yeah.
Suddenly, Mike's footwork got, I understand, Mike's, 58, 60, like he's an old man. But we've all seen the training videos. We all saw what he was doing for the first 2 rounds. I mean, it was like he had never quit boxing, and then all of a sudden he's biting his glove. And they're like, oh, you remember all the times that he used to bite his glove? Nobody remembers that because it didn't happen.
Nope.
So, yeah, I was very upset that night. But, wound up having to get I've had a friend since we were 9 years old. He's also a tattoo artist. And wound up losing a bet, had to get his name and a heart on my leg.
Oh, hell yeah.
So most of the dumb tattoos I have. So.
Now, speaking of some tattoo quests like that, would you rather do a face tattoo blindfolded on somebody, or would you rather have a client pick out your next tattoo without any discretion, no nothing?
Wow.
These are some would you rather questions that I've found.
Yeah. Well, if I did the face, I could always claim it was just an artistic expression, no matter how bad it got.
Yeah, there you go.
No, man, as many dumb tattoos as I have on me, I'm not sure somebody could come up with something worse.
Oh,
Unless it's
okay.
like, I don't know, a dick with wings or something like that. I might not be too appreciative of that. But you know what? I'll go with the client picking my next tattoo.
Yeah? Yeah, I would be a little nervous. I'll go blindfolded. I'll tattoo somebody blindfolded for sure.
Well, I've got 2 tattoos on me from people who've never tattooed before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm getting...
How'd that feel?
Terrible.
Yeah?
Absolutely terrible.
Were you trying your best to coach them through it?
Not necessarily. One of the guys, he's been a client of mine for years now, really good guy. And I was like, screw it, man. You just want to do one on me? Sure, why not? And he didn't even stretch the skin. He just took the machine and dropped it on my leg.
Oh, my God.
And I wound up getting a mildly Chinese racist smiley face. It's like right there.
I fucking love it, dude. Hell yeah.
But I have to admit, it doesn't have any real blown out lines for a guy who, never done a tattoo before.
Right.
I don't recommend it, but it was definitely a good story.
No, that's cool, man. That's something that's really cool that you can talk about, man. Because I haven't had anybody really tattoo me and nothing like that with, especially client wise. You know what I'm saying? I've had clients ask me, but I've never really took on the offer. You know what I mean?
They always say the older you get, the more it hurts. I truly believe that.
Oh yeah.
So now that I'm in my 40s, it's not fun getting tattooed. Like, it don't matter if you're light-handed or what. It all feels like liquid fire now.
Right.
So when you are heavy-handed, it really lights you up. So,
dude, I believe it, buddy.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's some of the pricings that you kind of go by?
So if it is a multiple session piece, I will charge by the hour. Usually for black and gray, I do $200. For color, I do $250.
Okay.
And while it does sound a little expensive for especially the area I'm at, I'm extremely fast. Like I can knock out a black and gray portrait within an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Wow.
So
that's awesome.
Like I'll usually charge about $450 as a base price for a portrait, but that's still actually cheaper than most people in my town.
Yeah.
Now I'm not necessarily saying I'm better at portraits than anybody else in my town. There's so many good artists in my town.
Yeah.
But I enjoy them. I can get them done really quick. And if I can still get it done quicker than most and do a little cheaper than most, it's really a win-win in my situation.
Yeah.
But generally, because I am so fast, I try to just price by the piece.
Right.
And if it winds up being something where, like, let's say the tattoo comes out to be $300 on the grid, but in my mind, I think I could probably get it done in about an hour and a half, I'll give the client the choice if they want to do it hourly or if they want to do it by the piece.
Okay.
That way, if one winds up being a little bit more expensive than the other, it's not my fault.
Right.
But I do try my best if I ever go to a new town to have either the owner price for me or have another artist price for me, because if you're used to high prices, like let's say you're working in Nashville and then you move to like a really, really small town, you can't charge the same prices.
Right.
So I don't want to ever, I'd rather underquote myself than overquote.
Right.
Because that's a big problem I think that we have in this industry is we got too many rock stars and they think they're worth ridiculous amounts of money. And I'm not saying that we should cut our throats.
Right.
But I mean, you can't eat it and you can't sleep with it and you can't sell your tattoos. We are giving, I mean, art, it's not like a painting. You can go sell that painting. Once you're stuck with that tattoo, you're stuck with it, man.
Yep.
And instead of just charging like you're going to somehow have a more expensive art piece to give your kids, just charge like, sorry, I started stuttering. I'm way off topic of what I'm trying to say here.
No,
essentially, we're nothing special, man. We should be happy that we get the tattoo. We shouldn't think they should be happy that we get to tattoo them.
Right.
So charge accordingly. We still live good lives, man.
Yeah.
And as overpopulated as the industry is right now, I still think there is plenty of work to go around for the good artists.
Absolutely.
So, but it's not going to stay like that if everybody's charging 3 times what it's worth. I mean,
right.
So, but that's enough on that tangent.
Your specials that you kind of run yourself and at the shop, what kind of specials is there any specials that you run specifically for yourself, or whenever you do run specials, is it usually for yourself or is it just for the shop?
Generally, it's for the shop.
Okay.
If I run any form of special, it's just if I have a particular design I want to do.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes if we are like slower that month, we may do a Friday the 13th. But we don't have a very big studio, so we really just can't facilitate having a lot of people.
Right.
But we generally, for the most part, stay booked up enough that we're just not able to do a lot like that. So, but you know, like maybe for Valentine's Day, we'll do like a small 5 to 6 picture flash set, you know, do those for a little cheaper or something like that, just to kind of do something for the season, so to speak.
Right.
About it. We don't really do a whole lot of deals or anything like that. We did just recently do a giveaway for some gift certificates. We just gave away a $500 gift certificate for the first place winner. Then the next 10 people who placed, we gave $100.
Oh, that's really cool.
So,
that's awesome, man. Now, how did that go about? How did that deal work out? Did they have to do something in order to get placed in?
They had to like the page, like the comment, or like the post, and then share the post.
Okay.
So you do all 3 of those things, and then you get placed in the raffle.
Now, was it just on the Instagram platform, or was it on
Facebook?
Oh,
we don't really actually get all that much on Instagram. So,
really?
But honestly, I wouldn't even say we really get all that much on Facebook. We're a very word of mouth shop.
Right. I mean, and word of mouth is still good. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, no matter how much social media goes up, word of mouth is always still going to be alive.
Well, I don't even understand social media. So.
I really don't, man. I'm just honestly hoping on pray for this. You know what
Right.
I mean? Dude, I feel bad for some of the people I've had on here already because I just now figured out all the editing stuff that I can do with the one camera, and everybody's going to think that I got multiple cameras and different angles.
I still remember the glory days of MySpace. Do you like tattoos?
Yeah, dude, seriously, because it's changed a lot, especially in the tattoo industry, because now it kind of feels like we're just as a marketing scandal, for everything, and versus us having to spend that time drawing all these different designs, and now we're having to spend that time with that and media stuff.
Yeah. You definitely have to have a wider portfolio these days.
Yes.
So,
yeah, I don't think I do much of specials besides my designs. So like pretty much my pre-drawn designs, if I already had those drawn now, they're probably about $100 or $200 a little cheaper than what they normally would be for anybody else. Just because the simple fact of the thing is that they're already there. I'm not if you're not going to change anything on the piece, let's just knock it out, man. You know what I mean? There's no need in it, but if there's got to be some changes or something made, if it's a lot of changes, then I'm okay with. I'm okay with doing whatever it needs to be done. But if there's a lot of changes, I probably just had the price back up a little bit. But usually, if it's just pre-drawn pieces, man, I do that. But I don't know too much of the specials that we do, other than like maybe raffles for certificates of $100 off, something like that. We don't really run too much specials as a shop here. But I have worked in a lot of shops that ran specials, you know what I mean? Like $80 flash pieces or $100 flash pieces and whatnot, to a palm size of only 3 colors, but black's included, so you only get 2 other colors. And I'm like, all right. But yeah, we definitely have done some of those things like that, but no other kind of specials other than that. What's probably the biggest Friday the 13th tattoos you've done? Like, what's the amount of people?
Oh man.
And how many hours was this?
Oh man. So back when I opened this up with a friend of mine at the time. There's a shop called Tempest in Dixon, Tennessee, and I was like, we should do Friday the 13th. We're a new shop. It'll help get our name out. And nobody knew what I was talking about, which was really odd to me because ever since I've been tattooing, Friday the 13th's been a thing.
Right.
But no other shop in town was doing it.
That's wild.
Yeah, I know. Well, a lot of the people in the town I'm at got their start and stayed in Dixon, which isn't a problem. I mean, they're great artists, and so maybe I'm not saying they didn't know, but maybe they just didn't think they needed to do it, so to speak.
Right.
But the guys I was working with didn't know, and a lot of them were still young, like maybe been tattooing like 2 years.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, even now, I still have more experience than all the people in that studio combined still. So there was a lot of young kids in that shop. But so we wound up doing it, and man, we might have only did like 15, 20, and I was the only one doing it. Next time, maybe did about 50. Before it was over with, we would wind up showing up at 8 o'clock in the morning. We had 2 buddies of ours come from Kentucky to tattoo. And so that would put us about 9 artists deep, and we would work from 8 to about 2 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
And if we probably knocked out about 1,200, 1,300 tattoos,
Damn.
I don't think I'd be exaggerating. But at that time, we were the only one in the area to do it.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of people thinking we invented it. I didn't ever want to take credit for that.
Right.
I actually personally hate Friday the 13th. Dude, I don't want anybody to stick that on me.
Yeah.
But, somebody come in, they're out in 10 minutes. So, and we wound up stopping it because when you're working that long, even if they're super simple designs, you're going to fuck something up eventually. Yep. Even if it's 1 out of every 100, that's at least 10, 20 designs you screwed up.
Right.
So that $13 you just earned now is going to cost you a lot more. You're going to lose reputation now because someone's seeing, even though it's a $13 tattoo, a real bad crooked line right in the middle of it.
Yes.
So it just wound up not being worth the squeeze, So,
I get that.
But if I have apprentices, I might throw like a limited amount of Friday the 13th tattoos, be like, we're doing 13 of them on this day, that way they can get a little bit of, practice.
Right, absolutely.
Or something like that. Or if they're, they're new to town and they need to get their name out, it's a good thing for that.
It really is.
But I don't know. I think it's really bad to try to get as many Friday the 13th tattoos as you can in. And
yes,
I didn't realize how bad it was until after we had done like 2 or 3 big events like that.
Yeah.
So, but you live and learn. So
now running your shop, what's probably one of the things that you you would either tell somebody trying to start up there in a new shop for the very first time, and what is something that if you could go back in time to tell yourself some advice or inspiration to help out with you opening up your very first shop?
I guess if anything, just go tell myself not to do it just yet. I mean, things worked out, but it didn't work out because of me.
Okay.
I needed more experience. I needed more talent, really, because I mean, if I had to run that place by myself, I wouldn't have had the ability to. You know, the shop I've got now, I was the only artist for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, I had to do anything and everything that walked in through the door.
Right.
But no, I just wasn't mature enough as, you know, a man, really. You know, we made money hand over fist for no reason, man. It just seemed like people were, but then again, we also didn't have 50 shops in the town at the time either.
Right.
So, you know, being in a military town, you know, and there only maybe being like 15 shops at the time, all of us were eating well.
Yeah, I believe it.
So I'd go spend $500 on alcohol that night, knowing I'm going to make that back at least tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I didn't save it. How am I making well over, you know, shit, I think the first year as a shop owner, we made over $200,000 back in like 2009.
Oh, wow.
And we weren't even like the popular shop in town. Like, so how do I make all that money? And then at the end of the year, I don't have a cent to my name.
Right.
Because I was too busy partying. You know, I mean, I'll still go out on a Friday night and have a couple of beers, but I don't party all the time. You know, more things matter to me than me now. So just basically grow up a little, get a little bit more experience, and don't trust everybody that just seems like a good guy. So, but I don't know, man. You know, it's like when you have a girlfriend and y'all have a kid, and then it turns out that girlfriend sucks so bad. You know, it's like you could be like, man, I regret being with her, but you might not have your child.
Right.
So maybe going through the bad experiences is what it takes for the good to come. I don't know, man. Maybe I wouldn't change it, but I mean, given the opportunity, I probably would. You know, if I'm thinking about it. But no. That'd be about it, man. I mean, as far as things go now, I think everything is perfect.
Hell yeah.
Like, I mean, I wasn't just trying to blow smoke when I said I really like my people. I really like the atmosphere I'm at. I love my clients. I love my shops. I love my people. I love it all.
And that's
so
good.
Like, you know, I even on my off days, I'll still just go sit on the couch at the shop just because that's my comfort place.
Right.
So
that's cool, man. That's really cool because it's almost as if you're telling everybody that it's so comfortable. It's home. You know what I mean? It's got to be. We're there more than we are at our actual place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what's the hardest tattoo you have you probably have done? And placement, like where was it at? Side
pieces, always side pieces.
Yeah.
I'll never be experienced enough to have an easy side piece. I remember one time I was extremely sick. Like I don't even really remember doing the tattoo all that much, and it definitely looked like I don't remember doing the tattoo much either. But the person had it booked for months. This was their very first tattoo, and it was a lot. It was a huge, like, you know how some people like to have basically a paragraph of lettering in their tattoo.
Oh yeah.
So it was a coffin with just a whole lot of words and scrolls going around it. And that one was a very difficult one for me, not only because it was a side piece, but I think lettering to this day is still the hardest thing for me to do. So between just the massive amount of text, being on the side, being sick as shit, and everything like that, that one ranks as probably one of the more difficult ones I've done.
Got you. Have you done anything like on the inside of the mouth?
Yeah, I've actually had surprisingly good luck on that.
Really?
And I would like to take credit saying it's something I'm doing special, but it has to be the client. So they're having to take care of it well or something.
Right, yeah.
I don't know if I'm doing them right. So.
Yeah, I've had some difficulties with the inside of the lip. I've done this one time. This is before it became a thing. It just now become a thing. Like now that I notice on Facebook or whatnot, I have tattooed 3 lines on the inside of a nostril, And I've done
inside of the nostril.
Yeah, I've done 3 dots in a triangle, most on the inside of the nostril, on the like whatever this is called.
Right.
I'm not gonna say that was hard. It's very weird.
Yeah.
It's I don't, because I tattooed ears inside the ear, outside the ear, on the back side of the ear. I even blacked out the whole earlobe before. But and I want to, it feels like you're not doing it.
Yeah.
It really, like, I mean, you can pull the nostril out and you can still feel your thumb. You know what I mean? Where you can feel the vibration, but it's not. It's probably similar to the lip, man. It's like very like cushiony feel. It's not.
Why the nose though?
I have no idea. Yeah, this girl, she had so on her ear, she had like lines. It was a very, very thin line, a thick line, thin line, thick line. It was all the way top of her ear, all the way down to her earlobe. She got the 3 stuff in 3 triangles in her inside the right here. On top of the nostril, she had these the lines that were similar to the ones that was on the ear. She even had like, I can't remember what she had. It was a state name. I don't know if it was California or if it might have been Texas. I think so, because I had written that on the bottom of her lip, and that stayed well after like the 3rd time I done it.
Right.
But the lip I could never get to stick right. So I will say that the lip was probably one of my hardest ones. Just, I don't know. I think I can muscle somebody down when I'm doing their ribs a little bit easier. I'll fucking just have my elbows down. I'm like, sit still. No, but I feel like the lips are definitely harder for me to do. I don't know if it's because I got sausage fingers or something, but it definitely is harder for me to tattoo.
I've definitely got like real stubby fingers.
Yeah.
Got like otter hands.
Yeah, so you understand it.
I don't know, man. The nose, that's weird. I've never heard of that yet.
Yeah, I actually just seen it last week where people were, I'm like, has no one done that? I was confused knowing that no one's done it yet. Right. Everybody was like liking it. And I looked at the comments and they were like, oh my God, that's so cool. I've never seen that. No one's ever done this. I'm like, I'm not saying I had 2 clients. I had literally 1 client of mine, and she was cool. She was cool as shit. She was just, she's just always been tattooed by me. So like, she probably has 2 other tattoos by other artists in that the county that we was in Muhlenberg, I think. Right. But dude, I was more shocked on why she got it. There was no reason behind it. She's just one of those people that's like kind of show off like unique tattoos in a way. Like, oh, you ever seen a tattoo here? And bam, she just pull it out. You know what I mean? Look at it.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. So I mean, that's she's a pretty neat person, man. For real, she's a very good client, very good person in general. She looks like she'd be unapproachable just because of the tattoos that's all around her neck and stuff. She looks mean, you know what I mean? But when she starts talking, she's a very, very sweet person. Very easy to get along with. Now, what is your favorite style of tattooing?
I prefer color. Yeah. But it seems like most people want black and gray out of me, which is fine. I'd rather do black and gray than nothing. Yeah. But honestly, man, I love statue work. Okay. So it doesn't matter if it's black and gray or if it's color. I just like extremely high contrast anything. Right. So if I could do every statue that exists in the Vatican, I'd be down for it. Hell yeah. So I do like new school, but it's I don't quite have the eye for it. Like, a lot of people talk about how traditional is so easy. And then I sit down and try to draw it. I was like, why is this not easy for me? Because it looks simple, but my mind doesn't really think traditional when I draw. I don't know if that makes any sense. But when I first got started in tattooing, I was really inspired by a lot of people like, Joe Groundwater, Capianca, stuff like that. And that's what I wanted to do, was just big-eyed new school characters all the time, and I never really got to do it. Oh, okay. But as I started tattooing, I realized that I liked a lot of other stuff, if not equal more. So I would have never thought I would have done realism a day in my life, because I had never had an interest in doing it until then. I started doing a little bit of it and realizing how fun it really was. Right. I didn't even like doing traditional tattoos until I had to do a couple of them, and then I realized why people enjoy it so much. So I would like to do more new school. but I'm not going to chase it, if that makes any sense.
Right.
But yeah, man, anybody wants any statue work?
Hell yeah, go see this guy.
Yeah.
So whenever you say statue work, I absolutely love doing statue work as well. I'm not going to say like it's like my top favorite style, but it's definitely a really, really fun thing for me. You know what I mean? But I haven't done it this way, and I've seen a lot of artists do it this way, and I love it when they do it this way, just because it's even more realistic than what it was to begin with. Doing it opaque, like completely opaque. Have you done those in that way?
I have. Most people just don't want it out of me.
Okay.
At least not out of me, so to speak. I try to do a lot of opaques if people really want a black and gray cover up.
Okay.
Because color always seems to work better, and at least that way we can kind of meet in the middle.
Right.
But I'm very traditional with my black and gray. I've done, gray wash for 18, 19 years. I've only really been doing opaque grays maybe in the past 5 or 6.
Gotcha.
So,
what is your setup of your blacks? Do you have like a drop system, and do you what is the brand of black ink that you like to use?
So it really just depends on when you ask me that question, because like 2 weeks from now, I might go back to a drop system.
Okay.
But now I use World Famous Black Gray Wash, and I just buy the 3 set that they have.
The preset stuff.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. Mostly because even if I wind up buying like a 10 bottle set, I still want to really use those 3.
Yeah.
So I'm very limited in what I'll do. So I won't pour like 5 reds to do a rose. I'll do 2 reds and just try to blend out from there.
Gotcha.
And that's actually because when I was apprenticing with that older individual I was telling you about, he wouldn't really buy me anything. I paid him $5,000 to get my apprenticeship, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to reimburse this and you. I'm going to buy you machines, all the inks you need." He bought me primaries. So I didn't even have a brown. If I wanted a brown, he made me mix my red and yellow to make an orange, and then put my black in that orange I make to make my brown. Yep. I wasted so much ink because he just wouldn't spend money on a brown. I mean, come the hell on. But we used to have I don't even know if it exists anymore, but we used to have a company called CAM, Tattoo Supply.
Okay.
And if you spent X amount on an order, they would just send you a free machine.
Oh, shit.
It was basically a paperweight. It was a piece of shit. They all sucked. But those were my machines.
Yeah.
So was these free machines that you get with a $50 or more order.
Hell yeah.
And I got primary colors. So I'm not one of those guys that's got like a color palette like 50 caps wide. I'm just not that guy.
Right.
But it even extends to my black and gray. If I can get by with just 2 different shades, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And I'll just try to blend it out as I go. But I've mostly been a drop system kind of guy for most of my career, and I'm not even sure why I started using pre-mades. Maybe somebody loaned me a pre-made one time. I don't know. But right now, I'm pretty happy with how world famous gray wash is. But when it comes down to my black, I'm just real traditional, and I use dynamic triple black.
Okay.
So as far as my colors are concerned, though, I'm a real big fan of Solid at the moment.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a good brand. It really is. It's an older brand too, so it's definitely a really good one. I like I don't know if you tried the Allegory blacks.
I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
I really like using those too, especially working off each other, because I don't even use a drop system.
Man, I just can't wrap my head around that.
No, this is so.
I don't even know if I'd ever try to do that.
I'd be too
scared. Really?
Yeah, that's how I do it.
I might have to come up here and watch you then.
Look, because I'll have Glide on my hand, obviously, like we all do, and I'll either loosen up the tension on the stretching of the skin and lighten up the pressure, as I'm moving my machine. A lot of times, if it's to where I want to suck in the needle a little bit more, to where it's not having like a 3 centimeters out, where it's just really, really almost the tip of the cartridge itself. And so I would just do that light shading packing in there. But dude, I love how it heals. It heals up great. I don't have any issue, because the only reason why I stopped using the pre-mixed drop system stuff was because I would get into a bind where either my light grays would look so well saturated, it look black, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, that's all I needed, you know what I mean? And I'll pull it out from there. They come back and it's all gray. It's all one tone. I'm like, how did I fuck this up? How did that happen? You know, and so it aggravate me so bad to the point to where I would have to start looking at other things, and with the way the system I do it now. Oh, I love whenever they come back and it's so healed. It looks so great. Yeah, I love it, man. I really do.
Might have to come watch you do that.
You're more than welcome to, man. Seriously.
It sounds scary to me.
It is very scary because because I will tell clients and other artists this, once that needle's in the skin, you know, there's no pulling it back out. You know what I mean? If it's black, it's black.
Right.
That's just what it is. So like, I am nervous. So that's probably why it takes me a little longer to do some of the tattoos that I do, just because, you know, I'm going based off, you know, the layers that I'm putting in. So I'm not having my machine up too high. I'm not, you know, it's very lightly, so I'm not traumatizing the skin too bad, because I don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, what kind of machine do you use?
So a lot of people call it the Amazon machine. It's I used to be a real big fan of like Axis and Bishop, but wow, I can't believe I just forgot the name.
Is it Ambition?
Yeah, it's Ambition. I'm so tired. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, it's an Ambition machine, and you know, I've always been of the opinion that if it's only like X amount of money, it obviously is only worth it, right? Well, you know, I was just like everybody else using Bishops and things like that, and then one of the artists in the shop I'm at was like, man, I'm just going to go buy this because all these, you know, artists that he was looking up to were using them. And I was like, you know what, man, it's only this much money. Just buy me one. I'll see if it works. And I'll be honest, man, I've tattooed with $1,200, $1,500 machines that aren't any better than this machine. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm really rough on everything I own. If I have them, again, I'm really actually not sure.
Okay.
I don't exactly have like large hands, but I don't like how a lot of pen styles are really stubby.
Yeah.
So, man, if you hadn't asked me, I might have been able to tell you the name. But if it looks like it fits my hand, that's what I order.
Okay.
But like if a machine lasts me more than 6 months to a year, I'm doing good. And it doesn't matter if it's an extremely expensive Bishop or if it's like a cheap something that you buy off Amazon. It's going to be 6 months to a year or I destroy it. Right. And I don't know why I have such bad luck with everything like that. But if I can have a $500 machine that's going to work as good as the $1,500 machine and they're both going to break on me like that, why am I going to spend $1,500?
Right.
Especially when I don't think there's any difference really at all.
Yeah.
So I'm more of a stickler on the needles I use more than I am actually on the machine I use.
And I get that.
But I was raised up in this using like machines you got for free out of a catalog for X amount of orders. So I've almost always had to use really shitty things in the beginning. So, I mean, I don't have to work ghetto now, but sometimes that just feels familiar, you know?
Right.
You know, you get out of jail and you still eat things that you don't have to eat anymore because you got used to it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's the same thing with like painting. You know, I won't splurge on a lot of stuff because I couldn't splurge back when I was learning how to paint. So now I feel like I work better with, I don't want to say subpar equipment, but I'm so used to it that it works for me.
Right.
So,
yeah.
at the end of the day, the end result is what you're truly going after.
Right.
But yeah, as far as I was a huge fan of Axis machines before I moved over to.
They are good machines too. Yeah. They really are. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. The only reason I knew about Ambition, I have an Ambition right over there. Yeah. I got the hot pink one. It's the Soldier, and I really like it. I even had the Ambition Torpid. I think it's a Torpid Pro, or it might just be a Torpid. But I had two of those. I love those machines. I talk really good about those machines. They're definitely well worth the money that they are. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I was not expecting them to run that well.
Exactly.
For the price that it was given. But man, I will say, you need a machine definitely, that's a great machine. Want the 4.0 cam. I don't know what cams that you like running your stuff on, but
If I can get that throw to be that long, I'd do it.
hey, yeah, there you go.
When it comes to my lining, I like as far as a throw as I can. When it comes to my shading, I want just the needle tips alone coming out.
Yeah,
like
there
it's
you go.
a complete night and day difference on that.
Yes.
But so I mostly use True Tubes at the moment.
Okay.
I mean, again, it's very good price for a very good product.
Right.
I've probably been using them pretty exclusively for about the past 2 years.
Okay.
Studio Inc. also they're a company out of Kentucky. They have such a wide range of needles. I will have to say you have to be careful what you're ordering, not necessarily because the quality is bad, but because they do have so many variations of so many needles. You can't just order like a 7-liner. You got to order a 7-liner tight, bold, this, like there's different classifications. Some I don't even understand.
Right.
So you got to be so be careful what you order because you might not be ordering what you think. It's not that it's bad quality. You just don't always know what you're buying.
Right, yeah, because some of them now are your especially liners that you mentioned the turbo liners. You know, you got long taper, short taper, medium taper. You know, and a lot of people aren't realizing that. They're just reading the first RL. That's it.
And I'm very guilty of that. I see RL, I was like, liner.
Right,
and I'll get it, and I was like, this is the skinniest 7-liner I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
But I very rarely use thinner liners. If I use an outline at all, you better know you needed that outline. My least favorite thing to do in a tattoo and to get while I'm getting tattooed is outline.
Yeah.
I hate it both. I'd rather get 10 hours of shading before I get 1 hour of outline.
But that's why I try to tell everybody is they're like, what do you think hurts worse, shading or outlining? I was like, if I have to outline, it's going to be the outline.
I think you're a psychopath if you think lining hurts less.
Yeah, shit.
I don't get it, man.
I ain't gonna lie. I will say that the clients who get the finer line stuff, they do come up to me and go, man, shading hurts so bad. I'm like, no, it doesn't. They go, it does me. I'm like, it's because we've been here for an hour and a half and I'm still doing this small stuff.
You know what confuses me the most is when most of the people that say it's like more painful than normal is when I'm doing stippling. And I don't really quite understand why the stippling seems to hurt more because it's at best just like, it's not like a constant pain.
Yes.
And I've never had stippling done to me. I would just assume it would feel better, but none of it feels good to me. I'm a big giant pussy, so like, it don't matter what it is.
Do you feel like the stippling though, it kind of like not traumatizes the skin as much as
I think stippling's a great technique.
Right.
I think it looks good. It's actually a lot faster than what I think a lot of people assume, and I honestly think it actually holds up very well. And if you just so happen to get like a blur out of it, which 9 times out of 10 I've never seen in a stipple tattoo, well then it just looks more like traditional shading. It's like a win-win in my opinion. But a lot of people I've noticed, and it's not just like tattoos I've done. I've noticed when I've watched other people do stipple tattoos, those clients will also say it hurts worse. And I don't really get it. I mean, but I guess I don't have to get it as long as they think it hurts. I guess it's really what they think. So
that's true, man. We have the blood thinner question. So if someone is on blood thinners, how do we go about tattooing them? Do you all recommend it, or do you guys what do you do?
Generally, if someone's got a bad enough condition, I'll say, we'll talk to your doctor first. Okay. And generally, if they get the okay with the doctor, I feel the doctor probably knows a little bit better than I do what they should do. But if they're on like blood thinners or any form of diabetic medication, I just try to take things slower. So instead of trying to do maybe a 4 or 5 hour session, we might just do one.
Okay.
A lot of times, I've just noticed less time involved each session usually results in a much better heal.
Yes.
So like if they come back for, let's say they're doing a rose, one day we just do the red in the rose and we just leave it alone. And a lot of reasons why I like to just focus on one color at a time or something like that is because if you're on really bad blood thinners, it don't matter what you're getting. The blood comes out so much that your green rose might now look brown because the colors get muddied because of that.
Right.
So,
I mean, the color's flooding that, you know what I mean, with the blood.
Sorry, I set like 50 million alarms.
No, dude, I get it, buddy. Ask my wife. I have at least 400 of them set up.
Well, I sleep past like 10 of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, just as long as you take it slow, you don't try to push too hard. I personally think things like Sanoderm, if you can use Sanoderm, usually help out a lot. We used to offer it at the studio, but it seems like 1 in 5 people get breakouts from them.
Yeah.
So we can't offer it anymore because if something goes wrong, that's on us.
Okay.
But if someone can use it, I generally suggest that's what they use. Because if nothing else, I mean, while it's on, you ain't got to do nothing but just go about your day.
Right.
So a lot of problems I've noticed with people who do take blood thinners and such is that they tend to have a lot more issues with flaking, scabbing.
Yes, I see that.
With something like this, you don't really, well, Sanoderm, you don't really have as much of that issue if you have that issue at all.
Right.
But I mean, where there's a will, there's a way. You just might have to approach everything a little bit differently.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
was there any more questions?
There was just another one. I asked what your favorite convention is.
well, Old Ties, of course. That's the best one ever. No, I'm kidding. Actually, my favorite convention I go to on a routine basis might actually be the Knoxville show.
Okay.
It was the first show that I started going to a lot, and it was also the first time I ever won an award. So it's kind of sentimental for me.
Hell yeah.
But also, I really like Knoxville, so it's just fun all the way around.
That's good.
Chattanooga had Literary Ink. Somebody told me recently they don't do that anymore. I'm not sure if that's true, but if it still exists, that's a real fun one.
Hell yeah.
9 times out of 10, I go to a show, even if it's not like a big show or anything like that. They're generally pretty fun, but sometimes they are just that bad. And
Yeah.
I get back home and I'm just bitching about how bad it was. And I'm talking to one of my buddies, and who's actually a co-host of this.
Okay.
And he's like, dude, just shut the fuck up. You either open up one or shut the fuck up. I was like, well, I don't want to shut up. I'm pissed off.
All right.
And he was like, well, do it. I was like, oh, man, I ain't got that money, man, because I've talked to the guy that runs the Knoxville show, and it's a massive show. So, of course, he's talking astronomical numbers.
Right.
And I was like, man, I just ain't got that money. He's like, well, I just looked this place up. This is how much this rent is. I just looked this up. That's how much this is. I was like, man, that's actually sounds doable. And he's like, all right, man, I believe in you. I'll put the money up.
Hell
And
yeah.
I was like, well, all right, man, let's fucking rock it. And I can tell you right now, man, there is nothing outside of like divine intervention why this show has actually been successful at all. I don't know how to advertise. I don't know how to do none of this, man. It is 100% God on this one. But I mean, I think we've had, for such a small show that's not very well known, I think we've had pretty good numbers. We've had pretty good turnout. And I'll be honest, man, I love the people that come out to this show.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're great people. They seem to get along. And the second time we had a show, I remember going down to the tap room in downtown Clarksville. And it's like 4 different shops worth of people are over here playing pool, having drinks together. And I was like, dude, this is like really inspiring. Because when I first got started in tattooing, if you didn't work in the same shop, you just couldn't be friends.
Right. Yeah.
And now I see people from, different shops acting like these are their best friends. And it was freaking awesome.
Dude, isn't that something cool though?
It's great, man.
Yes.
Like, I mean, we're at the end of the day, man, we're all people and we're all artists,
Right, man.
We don't have to be enemies.
Yeah.
But it's also like an incredibly humbling experience because I may have talked shit on that show, but then I understood why the show was the way it was. Like, it's real easy to talk smack when you don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And, but if anything, the real humbling experience is being on the other side of the judging booth, which I don't judge unless I absolutely have to, because I do know a lot of those people's tattoos, and it's very hard to be subjective, especially if you know the person. So
Right.
I don't judge, but I get to see every tattoo that walks up.
Yep.
And for weeks after each convention, I am so humbled. Like, I have like almost no self-esteem. I'll be tattooing. I was like, you shouldn't be getting me to do this. I'm the worst tattoo artist on the planet. And I've never been necessarily like a sore loser, but we've all seen a tattoo and be like, man, I think I did better than that. I should have won. But, we're only kind of seeing a tattoo here and a tattoo there.
Right.
it's insane the amount of talent that I get to see come across that table.
Yes.
And I wouldn't want to be in the situation where I have to judge those tattoos because there's so many 10 out of 10s. How do you choose?
Right.
So, like, it definitely put things in a different perspective. And ever since then, if I don't happen to get an award, I'm okay. Like, those people saw something I didn't see. But yeah, man, I'm like, every time I have to talk to one of those judges, they all say the same thing, that this is so much harder than we ever thought it would be. We try our best to make sure that whoever comes and judges isn't necessarily like a Clarksville artist.
Right.
We do try to keep a mix between like actual tattoo artists or like just clients, you know, people that's been getting tattooed for years. And that way you got a different perspective from everything.
Right, dude, that's cool.
But I mean, but it doesn't matter what you try to tweak. You're always going to do something wrong in the judging.
Right.
Something could have worked out just better that year. And unfortunately, sometimes it really does come down to, if it's like you're judging a horror portrait and you're a bigger fan of Freddy than you are necessarily Leatherface.
Right.
You know, sometimes that is what it takes to break the tie. So unfortunately, bias will have to sometimes come in clutch. But yeah, dude, it's insane the sheer amount of good talent I see come across those doors, man. It's just insane. But it's really nice to know, man, that there are that many talented artists.
Right,
you know?
dude. It's so cool that you're getting to work around those people that's in that area, if not close to your area.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you got those kind of artists around you. I think it's really, really neat. If there was something that you could add or change to make, you know, the co-hosting or just the whole convention a little bit better, is there something that you would do, or do you think, you know, you pretty much are going pretty well right now?
That's actually a difficult question. Honestly, I don't want it to ever be a big show.
Okay.
I don't mind big shows, but my least favorite shows have always been like the 300, 400 plus booth shows.
Okay.
My favorite shows have always been like maybe 150 booths max.
Okay.
And I've noticed that I think it's because we are such a small show that people will take the time to go around and meet everybody, because it's not going to take that much time.
Right.
So, I mean, and the best part about the town we're in is that there's no place that can host a super large convention. And which, if everything works out, we should have a new location this year. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, man, 50 booths, 100 booths, that's the max I want to do. Anything to keep it small, keep it personal, keep it, you know, friendly, so to speak.
Right.
I'm not sure that really answered the question, though. No, honestly, I really don't know what I could do, but I'm definitely open for suggestions. If somebody's got a good idea, I mean, feel free to message me about it. So,
the one thing that I see with how the industry and the world has changed in the technology and social media, this is the one thing I kind of wish conventions would do.
Right.
If they can't, I get it. What if you did one of those Polaroid pictures, the cameras that you can get at Walmart, those little cheap ones, that print out that little video thing? Because it's not bigger than this, you know what I mean? Boom,
Okay.
Take a picture of that tattoo after you're done judging it, bam, because it prints out right then and there, and you just clip it right onto that.
I mean, that's not a terrible idea. Where could you buy a
It's
camera like that?
So you can buy because I bought one for her, and we even have one for our 7-year-old, because she loves doing it. So like, I think the little Polaroid pictures itself comes in like 100 of them or 150. Right. So you can buy a little box of them, and you put them inside the camera. Boom, you start the camera up. The Polaroid's right there back in electronics at Walmart, and dude, it's fast too. As soon as you snap it, boom, just wave it, clip it on there. It'll dry up, and then you'll see the picture here in about 5 minutes. But you won't need to look at it until once you're done with all the papers and stuff.
Okay.
So I thought that was something that was really, really neat.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Right, because I mean, I don't know if you guys are making a good amount of money, like for profit wise, after everything's well said and done. But I know if that's something that could be done in the convention, I think it could be a big help. You know what I mean?
Well, full disclosure, we don't actually make that much.
Right.
And the biggest reason is because we don't want to charge all that much.
No,
we
yeah.
We charge pretty cheap on the tickets, and we we don't necessarily try to undercut other conventions, but we want anybody and everybody who would want to show up to be able to show up.
Right.
So we generally do have as cheap as we physically can go with the booth cost. This
Without
was
hurting yourselves.
right. There is a little bit of profit to be made, but we always just reimburse that next year.
Right. Absolutely.
This isn't, we never did this for the money. We actually didn't expect to do it more than the first year because we thought we were going to go into the red. So the fact that we're about to do it for the fourth year, I mean, again, that's God. That has nothing to do with me. But yeah, we try to keep everything as cheap as possible because it's not about the money. It's really more or less the love of the game. We just really like doing it. And, you know, me and the crew that I have at my home studio, we're convention whores. We will go to any and all of them. We just love it. So,
that's cool, man.
I mean, and I still have a lot to learn. And a lot of times I'll go to conventions now just to see what they did and to see what I could try to pick up from them.
Right. Hell yeah.
That and to collect tattoo shop cards. I collect tattoo shop cards. So I'll go to conventions just to go get a stack. I'm walking around with like 2 big old handfuls. So
that is cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's neat. Babe, do we have any other questions in the comments at all?
Somebody put Walmart or Target that y'all was talking. I don't know what y'all was talking about.
It was for the Polaroid camera, so I think they were letting you know that you can also buy them at Target as well. So.
Thank you.
How did each of y'all start out tattooing, and how far do you feel you've come since you started?
I'll let you go ahead and answer that one.
Well, believe it or
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and say it again. My bad.
How did each of y'all start out tattooing, and how far do you feel you've come since you started?
All right. So, how'd you start out tattooing, and how far have you came along, man?
Well, believe it or not, I was a very, very conservative child. Like, didn't believe in tattoos, didn't believe in dyeing your hair, that type of thing.
Okay.
And one day, and we used to call this guy Jiminy Cricket back in high school because he did nothing wrong. Like, we couldn't do anything. It was like, guys, you shouldn't do that. I was like, whatever. But so he goes off to college and comes back 4 months later and has a tattoo on his arm. The guy has long hair, not wearing shoes anymore. We're like, what the hell happened to you?
Yeah.
Like, all it took was a little bit of time away from home for him to completely flip script on us. But he had a Jack Skellington tattoo.
Okay.
And for some odd reason, we thought that was the coolest thing on the planet, man.
Hell yeah.
And looking back on it, it was stupid as hell. But we were still kids, man. I think he might have just turned 18. We might have been 18, 19.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, man, I'm so inspired. I want to do this for a living. I was like, you can't tattoo, man. You don't even know how to draw. And at this time, I knew nothing about tattoos. I thought they were done with hypodermic needles.
Oh, really?
I had zero clue how this worked.
Oh, shit.
So he's explaining everything to me, and I was like, wow, okay, that's a lot different. And I'm not proud of this, but he was like, oh, yeah, and they make this much money. I was like, dude, that's crazy. I can make that much money. And so I really got into tattooing because I was greedy.
Okay. I
stayed for everything but the greed. And it had to be for something other than greed because I made almost no money for the first 3 years. I starved to get into it. But I got into it for the wrong reasons, but stayed into it for the right reasons, I believe. So
there's nothing wrong with that, man.
But honestly, I think I've come quite a distance. And it's not necessarily on anything I did, man. I stood on the back of giants, man. I had so many people help me that had no business taking me under their wing. I was just some little punk ass kid. They still took the time to help me out and to mentor me when they didn't need to waste their time with me.
Right.
So I've been very, very, very blessed in this career. And I mean, even now I still got so many people that, got my back, and it's amazing.
That's awesome.
And when I finally decided I wanted to give it a shot, my whole world got enveloped with it. So I think I definitely got a real good crash course on it.
Hell yeah.
My old man either wanted me to be a preacher or he wanted me to be an artist. And I think I disappointed him about as much as I could in both of those regions and still somehow doing them. So.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, it was more that my dad, I love that man. That man was my best friend, buddy. I will say that guy, I really liked how he preached to me and Ethan, my little brother, about, you know, growing up and becoming what we want to become. He never put nothing on us to be anything.
Right.
It doesn't matter what we told him we wanted to be. He'd always say the same thing. You can.
Right.
You definitely can. And we'd always question him. Why do you think we can? Like, what? Wait, what? Are you sure? And he'd be like, yeah. What do you mean? You can do anything. Hey, just because someone says you can doesn't mean you can't. If you can't do it, it's because you didn't do it. And that's always stuck with me, man, because I had this issue where I got a missing tooth. I don't want to be on camera all the time, that kind of thing. But, you know, if I didn't do it, I wouldn't do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It would have never been done. I would not even try it. I'm always nervous about it. I don't want people, because of my mom's past, we grew up being the kids who are either on meth or going to be on meth and heroin. So we already had that record without having a record.
I get that.
And so, you know, because I lost my teeth when I was 9, dude, and so I had this issue ever since then. And, you know, I put, you know, crowns in, they keep falling out, that kind of thing, la-da-da-da. But, dude, it's gotten to the point to where, you know, I would just look back on everything that my dad would tell us, and I'm like, I gotta fucking do it. If I don't, I'm never going to. Because to succeed in anything, you gotta fail. Because if you fail, that means you fucking tried.
Right.
You know what I mean? That means you can look back and be like, well, at least I gave it a fucking shot. You know, at least more than once. You know, and that kind of thing.
How many people succeed the first go around?
Right.
It's a rare thing.
It is. So definitely, I really take a lot of that, and that's what really pushes me to do, especially to get into different things and new things that I do. And but yeah, the way my dad taught, he was more so, whatever you want to do, you can do it.
So,
Baby, is there any other questions?
The other thing was, Annabelle said, tell him to give a photo to the winner with awards.
Tell him to get the photo to what?
Give a photo with, I guess, the Polaroid.
Oh, okay.
And give a picture of the people with their awards and give them a picture of them.
Oh,
Okay.
that'd be cool.
that's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, there you go. Hell yeah.
What was the dare supposed to be?
Yeah, what was your dare?
Oh,
Yeah, what's your dare, Annabelle?
I may not have should have brought this up.
Yeah, honestly, we should have just left it alone. Fuck. No.
Get a message, lady. Fucking wimps.
But on the side note of everything, man, before we open up these comments and see who's all questioned it, I do want to say thank you so much for coming out, dude. And
Well, thanks for having me.
being on this. And
You have another question. Annabelle said, how do you feel about AI creeping into the tattoo industry? And Ian, you have a reverb.
A reverb? Oh, I guess your microphone might be echoing or something.
what about now?
Both mics.
Both mics are reverbing?
What do I need to press?
Press that yellow button.
It's about better.
All right, now?
He sounds like he's going on stage. Annabelle said better.
Okay, cool.
What about
Both
now?
of them better?
Yeah, they should be both better now because yours is in the same mark.
Okay. Sorry. I'm very technologically ignorant.
Dude, I don't know nothing about these mics. I just know that, you know, these work better than the other ones. So I just use these as much as I
So
can.
you have 2 questions left. How do you feel about AI creeping into the tattoo industry? And have you ever had to kick an artist out of your convention? If so, what did they do?
Oh, so yes, I did have to. Well, it was kind of a "you can't fire me, I quit" moment. Like it was like, you need to leave. He's like, "Oh, I'm packing up anyways." Well, good. So,
Easy.
we've had this happen twice where people sent portfolios of work that wasn't theirs. And
Oh, wow.
shout out to Big Mike for actually exposing one of them, because his wife happened to follow one of the artists of the work that this dude stole. And, you know, if that's the only thing that guy's got on his, you know, Facebook or website or nothing like that, and you'd be surprised how many people just fucking steal shit.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's a bad problem. That's,
Holy shit.
I won't even hire a person unless I can either have another person vouch for them or I know them personally already.
Yeah, okay.
Because I've worked in a lot of studios where people get hired off a portfolio that was never theirs.
Damn.
It was real bad out when I worked in Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg and all that stuff like that. I mean, that's where it's almost like shitty artists go to die, it seems.
Damn.
So, no offense to any of the good artists out there.
Yeah, no.
But, you know, they would bring traditional portfolios where it's just, you know, old photos slid into an album and they might have just picked that up from a previous shop they were in.
Holy shit.
But so we were able to catch one of them in time and we were like, here's your deposit back, stay the fuck out. And the second guy wound up really tricking us on a lot of levels. And at that year, we were allowing multiple artists to pierce. The first year, we only allowed one, and I only allowed him because I knew him personally.
Okay.
And I knew how professional he was.
Right.
The second year, we decided to expand that, and this guy wound up piercing with wrong jewelry. He's
shit.
the only person I've ever had a actual client complain about. So this girl's in tears, and I'm looking at the piercings like, I don't even pierce, and I could tell that's fucked up. So we walk right over to his booth and talk to him about it. And apparently, well, I wasn't making no money. Well, good. I'm glad nobody was coming to you because
Right.
But, you know, I'm seeing the work that he was doing and I'm seeing the work that he sent in. I was like, this isn't your work. There's just no way this is your work. So Matt, the other guy that co-hosted with me, decided to look up some of his stuff. And he's like, yeah, I can't find this on Google, but I can see his stuff on Facebook saying this is his shop. So he types in on Google Maps where his shop was, wound up being a house.
Oh,
now,
shit.
I know there are a lot of people who have actual professional health inspected shops in their homes.
Right.
I just don't believe that was the case here.
Yeah.
So yes, he was asked to leave, but he had already gotten a step ahead of us on that. So didn't cause a scene or nothing. He was just gone.
Oh, that's smooth.
So yeah, that's been the only true issue we've had. The last convention we had, I think pretty much everybody was stellar. Like I couldn't complain at all.
Hell yeah.
Like,
now is that this
yes.
most recent one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it was I feel that we just had probably the best group of artists so far.
Yeah.
Not just with everybody's attitude, but just with talent. I think everybody was great.
Absolutely,
so,
dude.
I mean, every year I feel it gets better. So I hope that keeps going. But as far as AI is concerned, the problem is not necessarily with the artist sometimes, it's more or less like clients bringing it in.
Yeah.
Because they'll bring you in a picture and they might not understand that person is not supposed to have 7 fingers on one hand.
Oh, yeah.
Or they might not pick up on it. And there's like certain issues, like somebody might bring in like a ship. And then you'll notice that for some odd reason, like there's windows that go all the way around the boat in a weird way. And you're like, this is a 16th century wooden ship. It doesn't have panel windows.
Oh, right.
So, and stuff like that. So that could be an issue. I don't think AI is a problem if you're using it to kind of overcome like a problem you're having. Like he's like, I can't really envision this angle. Oh, okay. Now I kind of see it, and using that maybe to help you get your design ready.
Okay.
But I think if you're completely relying on it, I think that's taking the artist out of the tattoo artist.
So with that being said, do you kind of use AI in your benefit at all?
Yeah, I do. I do have just the free AI apps. And we downloaded it because we kept on seeing a lot of really funny images. And it's very entertaining. Like we typed in like koi fish with katana, and it had a normal looking koi fish with an arm coming out of its gut holding a samurai sword. It's like, this is cool as shit.
That's neat.
Like in that case, sometimes you can get some really cool ideas. Well, I guess AI can give you some cool ideas on stuff you would have never thought about. Because I would have never thought about a random arm sticking out of a koi fish with a sword.
Right.
As simple as that may sound. But no, I feel that you can kind of tell if someone AI design. And and within the artist sphere, I think people are going to look down on that, but I don't think that non-artists always pick that stuff out.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm very mixed on that because most of the people that I knew that were not really drawing their designs anyways were a lot of realism artists.
Yep.
And, I say that also as a dude that does a lot of realism. I can't draw a car, but I can tattoo a car.
Right.
So if you want a car out of me, I'm going to have to just either take a photo of it or I'm just going to take it off online.
Okay.
But if you want me to draw something within my style, I would 10 times much rather draw something that I know I can draw than ever pull it off the internet. So I don't think it's actually changing overall the artist who never drew to begin with. They're just finding one more thing that they can use to not have to draw.
Right.
So I've been told ever since we got started in tattooing that technology was going to take over.
Yep.
And I can't tell you how many times I'll have a friend or a client send me a video of this robot tattooing a circle on an arm. Like, oh man, you've only got a couple more years. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
I don't think AI is going to take over the real artist. I do think it's going to unfortunately make the real artists have to work that much harder.
Yeah.
And it's going to give a benefit to people who aren't necessarily artists themselves. I do think it's going to give them a little bit more of an edge.
Right. Okay.
But just because the image is going to come out better for them out of AI than anything they could possibly draw doesn't necessarily mean they can tattoo it that well.
Right.
So I think artistry, like real artists, are always going to have the benefits no matter how good AI gets. So
I can see that. I can see that a lot, man, because I always tell people whenever they say something about technology and stuff to be advanced where robots tattooing you.
right.
Same time, man, this is where I see where we will be, pretty much more empowered by that versus the robots is where I feel like the robot is going to do not even if it's the same tattoo, but it's going to be done the same way each time. You know what I mean?
And skin's different.
Yes.
That robot doesn't know the difference.
Right.
So, even if they put the same design on everything, is it going to really be the same result?
Right.
I do think the human element is going to be necessary for a very long time.
Yeah.
At least as long as I'm going to be able to tattoo. So,
yeah. Because I really feel like if they did amp that up to where it was more of an affiliation with a shop or something, that they would probably have to put some sort of standards against it to where it has to be like a age thing. You know what I mean? So just in order for it to work right and not be sued.
Right. Right.
Do we have any more questions at all? All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to the Not Famous Radio, and I appreciate everybody for checking it out and having Jared on the live podcast with us. Once again, man, I'll let him kind of tell his name and where he's at here in Tennessee, so you guys can kind of reach out to him. And if there's any Instagram stuff that you want to shout out on there so they can kind of follow you and whatnot, definitely do that.
All right. Well, again, my name's Jared Warf. I own a studio in Dixon, Tennessee called The Inquisition. Co-own a studio in Springfield, Tennessee called High Tide Tattoo, and I co-host a convention called Old Ties. If you'd like to look me up on Instagram, I'm the only Jared Warf on Facebook, Instagram, all of it. I oddly have a very rare name, apparently. So you type in Jared Warf, it'll give you all of my stuff. Feel free to give me a follow, message me if you have any questions, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, awesome. Man. Thank you so much, dude.
Nice to meet you, man.
And thank you guys again, and I'll see you guys this Thursday. And we'll have one of the artists here from Whitewall on here with us. His name is Josh Rabb. I'll get to introduce him on Thursday, and I'll kind of let you guys know during the week. A little reminder that we'll be going live that day, and hopefully I'll see you guys then. All right. Remember, we're not famous, just loud.